Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I want to give a huge shout out to Modelones for sponsoring today's video. I'm so excited to be partnering with them to share a little bit of insight on their Amazon products. If you guys are not aware, Modelones does offer tons of products on Amazon, which is amazing because you get 2-day shipping and you get everything very quickly, and it's all really good products. Here I'm showing you this kit that they put together, and I am going to be using it for today's video. Here I'm showing you the UV LED light that it comes with. It is sensor activated, which I absolutely love. As you can see, I'm putting my hand under there so you guys can see that. It comes with the 90-second, 60-second, and 30-second setting. Now we have 6 beautiful glitters. They're very chunky, and I absolutely love the iridescent hues in them as well. It comes with some dual forms, tons of different sizes to fit perfectly to your nails. And now we have some tape. These are so pretty, nice foil tapes in tons of different colors, which I love. And then we also have some decals. We have these flames, and then a little bit further on, I'm going to show you guys the butterflies that it also comes with. They are glow in the dark and they glow so vibrant. We got 2-pack of foils. These are really good for encapsulating, but you can also lay them on top of the nail and just top coat right after. We got some really pretty crystals, some iridescent ones, and some just clear. Super pretty. I love the top row. They are so pretty. We got a few of the big crystals, and here are the butterfly decals that I was talking about. Also glow in the dark, super vibrant. Those are actually the ones that I'm going to be using for today's video. We have some forms, which I love that they are nice and squared and pretty long. You guys know I like my long nails. The gel cleanser, that's the slip solution. We have our base coat, top coat, and our primer, which I love when they include every single product that you will need to create nails and also nail art. So huge plus. We got clear, pink, and white polygel. Of course, the brush with the applicator on the side always comes with polygel kits. So it has the brush on one side and then the picker. Perfect for polygel. And then of course we have a hand file as well. Let's not forget the tweezers. These have been my favorite. I got some in a different kit and I've been using them. They're my favorite, and especially because they're matte black, I absolutely love. So getting right into the tutorial, I am starting off by applying base coat to the nails. I am skipping the primer, of course, because I am doing it on a practice hand. Make sure you prep your nails properly if you are doing it on yourself or on a client. Always remember to prep your natural nail properly so you can get the best adhesion. So I'm going ahead and applying that base coat to the entire surface of the nail. I am using some tips for today's video. I wanted to make it a little bit easier for any beginner nail techs out there that are interested in trying out polygel. Definitely recommend trying it with tips. You can also do the dual forms, but I have yet to venture out into that. So I will definitely be doing a video soon for the dual forms. They're really cool in my opinion, but I'm slightly terrified of messing it up. So now I'm going to be using the Modelones light to cure that very quickly. I'm just showing you guys tiny clips of that because you don't want to sit here through the full minute of curing. So I did decide to do a very neutral set with a pop of color. So we are starting off with the white polygel. I'm applying a generous amount onto the tip, and then I'm going to be using my base coat as the slip solution. I have found that with polygel, for me personally, it works the best to apply. If you are a pro using the slip solution, I'm slightly jealous, but I can definitely work a lot better with it with the base coat. So I went ahead and applied a little bit on my brush as well. And now I'm just working with the product, blending it up towards the center of the nail. I like to have that layer very thin so that the blend applies very easily. And then I will, of course, build that out towards the tip with the thickness that I want. So as you can see, it's very tapered up in that middle section, nice and flat. And then it adds thickness as we move further down that tip. Now let's not forget to continuously wipe down the sides. You want to make sure that your sides are always nice and tight. That will keep the shape nice and perfect, and it will minimize the filing process at the end. Then I'm just cutting off any excess polygel at that tip just with the picker side, very easily. And then I'm going to be cleaning up any little areas that have spillage, curing that in the light for about 30 seconds, and then we're going to be moving on to the other nail. The exact same process. I'm applying a good sized bead of that polygel, adding some base coat to the top of that bead, and then I'm gonna be working that product with my brush very gently. You don't want to overly press that product because it can become very sticky, and you want to make the application process super easy for yourself. Trust me, this can get messy. So make sure you guys try out different methods of applying it and work with the process that works best for you. You want to use the method that you find the easiest. So I like to do it this way, and I feel like honestly it has been a lifesaver. Again, tapering it up into that middle section. I want it nice and flat, and then I'm going to be working the sides, bringing the product all the way down, adding the thickness that I want to that nail, and then cutting off the excess polygel. And then I am placing it under the light again for 30 seconds. I'm basically flash curing it so that it moves a lot quicker. And then I can quickly move on to the next finger. So I am going to be repeating that same process on the rest of the nails. So I wanted to tell you guys kind of a little funny story that happened while I was recording this video. So as soon as I finished up doing this middle finger, I see a car pull up and it looks like my client's car. I looked at my coworker and I was like, is that my client? And she replied, yep, sure looks like it. So funny that she was scheduled 2 days later. So I was like, oh gosh, what do I do? But because I was already there, it wasn't no biggie if I took her that day or not. I did have to stop filming. However, it wasn't going to affect anything really. So I went ahead and stopped as soon as she walked in, and I was like, hey, you're 2 days early. So she kind of freaked out a little bit, but I told her it was completely fine. I just needed to clean up my mess that I had created with all my products. She went ahead and washed her hands. I did her nails, and I did record her nails that we created. I'm so excited, and I will be uploading that very soon, so stay tuned for that. She's one of my clients that I always film on, so you guys seem to appreciate her hands as well. You guys will definitely recognize her hands as soon as I post her video. But just a quick little funny story, how I am grateful that I am taking very minimal amount of clients, and I was able to take her in right when she walked in, because had I had a client, I would have felt terrible. She does drive a complete hour to get to the salon. So that was a fun little experience that I had, and I just felt like sharing it with you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish that process on the rest of the nails, and then I'll get right back on here as soon as I'm done. If you guys see the lighting change a little bit, it is because I finished the rest of this video on a different day and it was a little bit cloudy outside, so I apologize for that. But other than that, I will get right back on as soon as I need to. You call my bluff, I won't pick up, I let it ring. Record your voice so I can listen back again. And I'm sorry I'm not perfect, but I knew that I wouldn't be. I guess it's for the best, you know the worst in me. I'm no good at being good, but I never said I was. And I feel misunderstood, cause I'm trying hard to love. I'm sorry, my actions, they
broken plans so we can start again. Wanting down a second chance, I'm too selfish for that. I let you fall again, now that you know that. I'm no good at being good, but I never said I was.
I did go ahead and cure the rest of the white nails, and now I'm moving on to my ombre. I'm using the really pretty pink that comes with this kit. Again, applying some base coat to that. I feel like it's the perfect pink for French design or just some ombre nails, so I figured I would use this for today's video. Now I'm going ahead and applying that polygel very, very gently near the cuticle area. All you have to do is gently push that up and then thin any area out that you want. I like to keep my product very thin near the cuticle because that causes the nail to last a little bit longer. You want it to be nice and flush to the natural nail, and I talk about this in every single video, so make sure you guys focus on that. If you're having issues with lifting, you want it to be nice and flush to that natural nail. So I'm working that product down towards the middle section, and then once I get to the middle section, I'm going to start applying a little bit more pressure to my brush. And what that is going to do is very lightly thin out that area, and then it'll make it a lot easier for me to just remove the excess. So I start pushing in, and then I just wipe off the rest of it, and boom, we got an ombre. I'm just fixing the side a little bit. And just like that, you get a nice blend. So I'm going ahead and placing it under the light. So at this point, when I took the light off, I realized that the polygel changed colors. And for a slight second, I thought it was like burning. I don't know, because it just looked so off to me and I wasn't expecting it. I looked at my husband and I was like, what the heck? And so I was like, I think it changes colors. And he came over, he was like, yep, it sure does. So it turns into like this purplish blue color. You'll be able to see it a little bit further out in the video. I thought I inserted that clip in here, but I did not. So again, I'm just applying that pink, and then I'm going to be blending it down. Very, very easy process. These products are just so easy to work with, and I love a good product. So make sure you guys check out their polygels, and of course shop their Amazon site to save some time when it comes to shipping. We all want to make our life a little bit easier. So I'm going ahead and blending that out, again removing any excess, and as you can see, very easily we get a nice ombre. I'm gonna go ahead and repeat that on the rest of the nails, and I'll just let you guys watch this process. Now I did just want to hop in here really quick because at this point you do get a snippet of what I'm talking about when it changes colors right here, and then a little bit after when I actually remove the light fully. I wanted to kind of give you guys a little bit of insight so you guys can tremendously tell how messy that ombre is. So if you just look at it from, you know, this view, it looks like it's a good blend. The products are nicely blended in the middle section and you think everything is good. But then when you see it from a different perspective with the different color and it turns that bluish color, it really puts everything into perspective of how messy things can actually look when you think they look good. So just to give you guys some thoughts, I did share that with my members. It was a little mind-boggling and kind of cool. So I just wanted to share that with you guys really quickly. Now I am going to be encapsulating these nails. As usual, when I do an ombre, I want to encapsulate just to protect that blend. I don't want to file any of the areas off. So I'm going to be using the clear polygel that comes with the kit. I will say this one's a little bit harder to work with. I'm not quite sure. It's probably just because it's clear. The formula definitely is different, I would assume. So I did struggle a little bit. It felt different in texture and I'm not quite sure what exactly it was, nor could I point out what the issue was, but it really wouldn't blend easily. So I really had to work with it. I really had to try to move it around a little bit better with a little more pressure. I don't know, it was just a different texture, but I made it work. I was still able to smooth everything out as best as possible, bring it down as usual. But I did want to just give you guys that little disclaimer. If you do buy this kit and you notice that you're having a little bit of difficulty working with the clear, so did I. You are not alone. And maybe you get it and it's super easy and it's just me. But I did notice that it was slightly different to work with. I'm just gonna go ahead and do my same process, try to bring that up into the cuticle area and blend it nicely, and then bring the product down, adding the thickness that I want and need for the length of nails. Now I'm taking one of the wipes and drenching it in with that slip solution. I feel like it cleans it off very well. So I'm just going ahead and scrubbing off that tacky layer from the polygel. You want to make sure you do this before you go in and file, or everything is going to be super sticky and hard to file. So make sure you guys do not skip this step. I'm going in with my hand file. I'm going to be filing the sides and then most of the surface of the nail with my hand file. With Polygel, because it's such a thin product, whenever you file it, the dust that is produced is a lot thinner than what you get with acrylic. So I like to use a hand file just because I feel like I don't want to cause super deep indentations with a e-file, and I want to make sure that I'm keeping very low pressure when I am filing and I don't over file, because you can easily do that with an e-file on Polygel. So I'm just going on the surface of the nail and then I'm making sure that my shape is nice and perfect, or as perfect as I can get it. Again, on the surface of the nail, very, very lightly with my hand file. All I'm doing is trying to smooth out that surface. I'm not trying to remove bulk product. So I'm gonna go ahead and repeat that on the rest of the nails, and then I'm going to be flipping the hand over as well to file them at the tip. Now I am taking my e-file and I'm going to be filing around the cuticle area. That is one area that I specifically like to use my 5-in-1 bit. It's kind of hard to get a nice perfect flush look for me in my personal experience. It's really hard to get it nice and flush in that area with the hand file. So I always like to use my e-file for this step, and I'm just going ahead and making it nice and flush and then blending that all together with the rest of the nail that I have already filed with my hand file.
This is for my day ones. Don't forget the ones I made ya. Deep side sweating out flavor. This is for my day ones. Day one. Showed up. Day one before the glow up. Don't need to ask for them show love. Don't need to ask for them show love. Show love. Izquierda pa derecha, dale bien pa' acá. Yo quiero que tú bailes, dale sin parar. Todo mundo hey, quiero vacilar. Shake it, take it, and I'll throw it right back. Ooh, take it back to when nobody used to know me. Lights down low, I was just chilling with my homies. Now that we're popping, everybody is talking. This is for my day ones. Don't forget the ones I made ya. Deep side sweating out flavor. This is for my day ones. Day one.
Once the surface of the nail is nice and clean, we are going to be starting off our nail art process. So I'm going to be applying these really pretty decals that the kit comes with, along with the tweezers, and I'm just applying that very gently. There's a little fuzzy, I think that we're on the tweezers, and I'm just making sure that I'm pressing that firmly into that nail. What I found very intriguing was the fact that these decals are really good quality. They are sticking very well to the surface, which I love when decals are so easy to work with. I thought they were going to be a little bit on the thick side because they do have a little bit of texture to them, but not at all, which I also appreciate. So I'm going in with white gel paint. I will link down below a gel polish that you can use in place of gel paint, but you can use a gel paint or white gel polish, whatever you have on hand, whatever you find easier to work with. And I'm just using a long liner nail art brush, and I'm adding a thin layer down the center of the nail. I'm applying this very, very carefully, and this is going to work as our base, as I'm going to be adding some matching pigment to that surface. So make sure you do not cure after you apply this. I'm going to be showing you guys kind of a fun little way to jazz up a simple design. Now again, please remember this is still wet. I did not cure that white gel paint. Now I'm taking this matching yellowish green acrylic powder from Modelones, and I'm going to be using that as a pigment to jazz up this design. So I'm just taking the picker part of the brush, and I'm going to be adding some pigment to that wet white paint. So what this is going to do is it's going to allow the gel paint to absorb that pigment, and it's going to become a more vibrant color than if you were to just rub it on to the tacky layer of your gel paint or gel polish. So I'm letting it sit there for a few seconds, and then you'll see that it absorbs everything right in, and it looks so good. And then I will tap off the excess when I feel it is ready. Tap, 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 and placing the light right over it so that it fully cures through that pigment and that gel paint. Now I'm going to be cleaning off the excess pigment. I did go ahead and dust it off, and it gets everywhere. So I'm making sure that I'm cleaning the hand as well as the rest of the nail that I don't want any pigment to be on. It can get stuck in any little creases or anything like that, so I'm just making sure that I'm fully removing it. Now, I do recommend to be careful when cleaning it off. However, because it has seeped really well into the white, it really doesn't matter if you wipe off a little bit of that nail art, it's not gonna come off. The pigment is fully cured into that white paint, but I still try to avoid it as best as possible just in case, because you never know. Once I'm done cleaning all that dust off, I am going to be top coating these nails. I am using the top coat that comes with the kit as well. I love it because it's no wipe, and you guys know I love a no wipe top coat. Ain't nobody got time to be rubbing anything off. And then I feel like they're not as shiny when you have a tacky layer. You got a no wipe, it goes on very nicely, and boom, you're done. So I'm just applying a thin layer of that, making sure that I'm really getting that into that nail art. Especially those decals, you want to make sure you fully cover that, every little area, so that they do not peel off. And then I'm going to be curing that under the light. I am placing it on the 90-second option on the light for the last and final cure. that basically concludes today's video. Let me know what you guys think down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay till the end to see the butterflies glow. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.